What's going on, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Other Side of the Firewall podcast, where we talk about the latest and greatest in cybersecurity news, as well as we highlight those movers and shakers and glass ceiling breakers, those people of color who've made it to the other side of the proverbial firewall. My name is Ryan Williams, and as always, I'm joined by LeVon Maynard.
What up? What up?
And Shannon, typically, but he was unable to make it this week. He's under the weather. So definitely tune in. So Monday, we talk about the FBI slash DHS hack that is currently taking place. Then today, LeVon has a topic. I don't want to spoil it. Wednesday, we have a very good conversation with Ms. Aisha Hollins is back on from Forensic. And she leads us through a discussion on, I'm trying to look it up real quick, women in cybersecurity aren't unicorns. We do exist. So definitely tune in for that one. Very good discussion with Aisha. And then Thursday, Ask Us SP should have a guest on as well. And then Friday, talk about everything but cybersecurity. So without further ado, I'll give it to you, LeVon.
Yes, sir. Yeah, so today we got an article. This one's from Reuters. This is the U.S. charges Ukrainian and Russian in major ransomware spree, seizes 6 million. So in this article, this is basically, long story short, the U.S. Justice Department charged Ukraine national and Russian in one of the worst ransomware attacks against American targets. Court filing showed on Monday, which was I think on the 8th. What was this Monday? Let's see. Yeah, that was the 8th. So yeah, it looks like they obviously apprehended some people that they that were a part of this organization, REvil, which we know they're popular for a few of their the major ransomware attacks they had on. Looks like, if you guys remember, I guess it's Kaseya. I think it's like
Kaseya. Yep.
Kaseya, yep, like an IT company that had 1,500 of their customers encrypted their data and forcing some of them to shut down for days. So they caused like a major disruption there with that organization, causing them to affect a lot of their customer base, as well as you guys remember, the Colonial Pipeline was a major impact from some of the work that they did with the ransomware, caused us to shut down a Colonial Pipeline for a period of time. I can't remember exactly how long it was, maybe a few days, but shut down that access point, and then people started to go crazy with trying to get gas at the gas station because they were worried about not having gas for X amount of time. But nonetheless, it looks like they obviously apprehended some of the folks that were associated with that. Let's see here. According to the article, looks like these individuals, the Russian national, whose name I'm not even gonna try to pronounce, they were charged in the U.S. District Court for the Northern District of Texas with conspiracy to commit fraud and conspiracy to commit money laundering, among other offenses. And obviously, they were able to recover $6 million. And it looks like these people can face up to 100 years in prison if they're convicted on all counts levied against them. So they have this obviously is going to be a big deal if they end up getting, getting hemmed up and end up getting the full, pretty much get the book thrown at them. They can end up spending the rest of their lives in jail, which would be a big deal to say the least. But
right.
Nonetheless, they are the government is willing to spend big bucks on catching more of the alleged members. It's offering up to $10 million reward for information that leads to the arrest of REvil leadership, and up to $5 million for info about people trying to work for the group. So they're obviously making big commitments to shut down this organization. They've obviously put a lot of money into it. A lot of people, a lot of their manpower is going into finding out who these individuals are, as well as capturing them, getting the money back, which is pretty impressive. Because me, even like with my IT knowledge, I didn't realize how capable they would be of retrieving the money, especially if it's in like the Bitcoins or like, I always thought that some of the cryptocurrency was, untraceable, and like they couldn't really
right.
find unless they had like the certain key or certain passwords or whatever they needed. But this is kind of, that's a little bit beyond my experience, but I'm glad that they're able to get that cash back and able to. I don't know what they do. I assume that they try to give it back to the people that it belongs to, but who knows if the government ends up just hoarding it for themselves and like, we need to hold this for evidence until 10 years from now to gain some interest on it, and then we'll give it back to you. But nonetheless, it's good that they're getting some of this money back and getting these organizations, trying to shut them down, because this obviously has been a big deal. They've affected. Oh, the one short story that I mentioned that they were a part of was the meat packing plant in Brazil.
Yep.
So that's part of JBS. So that's another one of them that they kind of caused some chaos on. But it's good that they got, some of these individuals got captured, and they're putting forth big effort to try to capture more in big leadership of the group. Hopefully they're able to shut them down pretty soon. But actually, they actually been shut down for a while now. I think that's part of the things that they mentioned in the article, that they have been offline for a while now. But who knows if they try to pop up somewhere, and they may pop up all of a sudden with a ransomware attack, and then all of a sudden they're back in business. But it looks like the U.S. is putting forward a lot of effort to shut them down permanently and make sure they don't resurrect out of nowhere and start affecting some other corporations. But with that said, do you have some thoughts on it as well, Ryan? What you think?
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, this episode is more of a recap, right? So we kind of covered this last week with Shannon, but it's ever evolving story. So now there's been more allegations, there's been more sanctions. Like you said, REvil was responsible for the Kaseya attack, and we talked about that while that one was in progress as well, and how they weren't targeting people with certain languages enabled in their application. So if you had, I want to say it was Russian Cyrillic, or you had like Iranian, I don't know if it's Farsi or what have you. Don't quote me on the logistics. Like I only speak one language. But if you or you had Mandarin, if you had certain subsets selected for your languages and what have you, you did not get attacked. That's what they learned. So targeted attack on U.S. and their allies. And then, like you said, JBS with the meat packing, like, mess people's beefs. Makes them upset.
That's right.
Then the colonial pipeline, obviously, you mess with American oil and gas, which made us go nuts. So it's good. REvil has been shut down. A lot of their ransomware victims have received keys from the government to unlock their files and what have you. And now they're actually getting to the people who are responsible, and they're locking them up, giving them crazy potential prison sentences. 100 years is a long time.
Yeah.
That money was not worth it. As well as they're putting sanctions against the countries that they came from. So as you can see, it's a full-scale attack. The last administration started the ball kind of rolling in this way, and now this administration is hammering people. So crime does not pay in these instances. Like if you listen to yesterday's episode where we talk about the FBI being attacked, don't kick the hornet's nest. I don't know why you think this is a good idea, because now they're going to come at you. I wouldn't be surprised in the next week or two we have a similar conversation about the FBI giving Spy 100 years for attacking their email servers. So it's crazy out here. The world is not playing anymore. Like, the world governments are starting to step in and drop the hammer on would-be hackers. So maybe you should come back to the blue side of the house. The white hat side of the house, because you can be good guy, red team, blue team, purple team, but black hat hackers are having a rough go of it. So perhaps you should spin down and brush up that resume, get back on the right side of the streets. But no, I thought this was a good episode. I think it's a good recap. I'm sure more will come of this. We'll try to keep it fresh for you, but I just want to definitely get LeVon's perspective on this one. Hit up the website, www.theothersideofthefirewall.com. You get to all our socials. You can hit me up personally. I'm at Security Guy. That's RYRY Security Guy. Twitter, TikTok, LinkedIn, Clubhouse. And you, LeVon?
Yes, sir. You can hit me up on the Twitters at LeVon Maynard.
There it is. Stay safe, stay secure.
Take care.